What's up, Dean? What's up, Kevin? It looks like you guys have some beef. It looks like you guys have some issues that you need to work out. You guys look like you want to fight. Well, luckily, there's a place that you guys could do that very thing. In fact, you already did it. I'm going to tell you all about it. That and much more, everything that happened on SmackDown. Welcome to the copious review of Thursday Night SmackDown right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Let's go. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dead on Dave. And if you're here, you know that SmackDown has already happened, but you need somebody so epic, somebody so amazing, somebody so transcendent that you need to have those things told to you exactly. What the hell am I talking about? What the hell am I talking about? I'm a fat guy in front of a bunch of nerdery about to tell you about SmackDown. That's what we're here for. That's what we're going to do. There's no transcendent. There's none of that here. No. We're here to talk SmackDown, man. That's what you're actually here for. And that's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you your SmackDown review with your copious fat man. And as you know, I haven't watched SmackDown yet, or I would have done the live review last night. But no, my big body was tired and hurting, so I slept. Now, I'm here to watch it segment by segment, match by match, and give you my up-to-the-moment reaction. So let's get right into it. No more gilding the lily or tripping over my lines or any of that good stuff. Let's get into SmackDown and the copious review of it. Let's do it. So 5 minutes and 20 seconds in, let's start with this, man. Is anyone giving a crap about Mex America? Is it working for anybody? I'd really like to know. I got to be honest, even though I'm not a fan of what they're doing with Mex America, I don't think it's a very good idea. This was the best promo of the bunch. I mean, at least it was until Zeb started really rambling. Once Zeb kind of went off the rails, and let me tell you one more thing. I'm like, oh no. No, Zeb, you had it. You were good. You had it clinched, and then the tighter you clench your fist, the more star systems slip through your fingers. That's right, a Star Wars reference, motherfucker. Princess Leia told you, Zeb. He told you. She told you. She didn't listen. Kept going. And Del Rio's just kind of like, yeah, hey, Mex America, bitch. And that's kind of what's happening. This wasn't that bad, though. And I'm very excited to see the match between him and Neville. Hopefully it won't be a squash. We need to start seeing something build. And if Neville is going to be the guy that goes forward and challenges him for the United States title, that's pretty cool. So excited about that. We need some good stuff, man, after the news of Seth Rollins, which really does blow. It blows and it doesn't blow. I mean, it sucks for Seth Rollins. I feel terrible for him. But at the same time, I'm excited about to see what's the big shakeup that's going to happen because of it. Because let's face it, this is monumental. Survivor Series, tournament. We're going to talk more about that throughout the show. Let's get to the match. Let's watch. I'm so excited. I just want to talk about Seth Rollins. I already did a show on him, but I want to talk more. But let's get to the Neville Del Rio match and see what happens. 15 minutes, 24 seconds in. We just got about a 7.5 minute match between Del Rio and Neville, and I thought it was pretty well done. The one thing you can never really complain about with Del Rio is his match work. Yes, it can be a little bit boring, but I think that what they've done is, since he's come back, they fixed that. It's not always the same old out of Del Rio. It seems like and I think he's learned a lot from his time in Lucha and going back to Mexico and all these things. And he's kind of brought back a new attitude with him. Giving him a new finisher is a great idea too. I don't know how much I love the Tree of Woe double stomp from the top rope, but it's pretty effective. It looks vicious. Let's face that right there. Neville picking up another loss. It does suck, but I don't think it's affecting Neville all that much because, let's face it, Neville is young, and every match that he's in, you still feel like he has a chance to win. So it's never a shock whether he wins. You know, if he wins, it's not a huge upset because he is Neville and he is as good as he is. So I'm thinking over time he is going to continue to pick up wins and stuff, and he will be built in the manner that people want him to be, or he won't, or he'll be the next Justin Gabriel, and there is a possibility of that. Let's face it. I'm hoping that won't be the case. Triple H does not want to see his NXT guys fail and fail and fail. He needs success stories. And the thing is, Neville is a success story in a lot of ways. We'll see if he's allowed to continue to flourish. We'll see. But the match was solid. The match was solid. There's really not a lot to complain about as far as the match goes. Maybe a little bit more time to it. But other than that, it was a good match. It was solid. After the match, Del Rio pounds on Mr. Neville until Jack Swagger, who looks like he got himself trimmed up and he looks good. He looks like he's working out a little bit. He's still a little chubby and doughy, but that's because inactivity will do that to you, poor guy. But it looks like he is going to be the main competitor to Alberto Del Rio. While I'm excited about the prospect of seeing Swagger in a major program again, especially for a mid-card championship, it doesn't really make any sense. Swagger has basically been he's been nothing. He hasn't even been a jobber. He's been a not there-er, you know, and you can't go from not being there and not being visible and just basically setting up rings, it seems, to being in a mid-card title. Even the only thing that saves it is because of his history with Zeb and Del Rio. That's the only thing that saves it and allows it to be okay. We'll see if it turns out well. I have no idea. It feels like Swagger's just going to be fed to Del Rio, but maybe not. We'll see. This Seth Rollins situation kind of puts a lot of things into flux, changes quite a few things. So we'll see if this is one of them. I have no idea. It's going to be interesting to see. And basically every segment that we do on this show today is probably going to have a little bit of Seth Rollins undertone because this SmackDown was recorded before the injury. So, you know, I'm sure they're going to say something about the injury throughout the show. They'll edit something in. But the reality is this show was booked without that in mind. He wasn't there, so that's a good thing. And they might be able to seamlessly transition. But it's going to be interesting. This show is going to have some meaning, but everything changes after this show. SmackDown is the end of the current run of how things are. And now starting Monday, we go to how things will be. It changes everything. So we'll see. Let's get back to it and see what's next on Smack Digging It Down. Here we go. 23 minutes and the Usos are back. Here we go. The Usos back in there and they got a match with the Ascension. Pretty good match. I mean, the Ascension, for all of the ill will that everybody has towards them, you know, the Ascension sucks and all this stuff. They work good matches. When they're allowed to actually have matches on television, they do a good job. They are a very good tag team. Sometimes things like this happen when a tag team comes up with a lot of hype and everything, and they kind of have to go back to the bottom and, you know, rebuild. And that's okay. I think people who are like, well, let's just get rid of the Ascension. I think that's insane. That's insane because even tag teams that constantly lose, we need them. We need tag teams. We need teams that are actual teams. And let's face it, now teams are starting to come into focus. We got the Ascension. We got the Usos. We got Los Matadores. We have now Sheamus and Barrett. We have the Wyatts, if you want to consider them a team. I think you can somewhere down the line. You have the Lucha Dragons, if I didn't already say them. I think I said Los Matadores, but I meant Lucha Dragons because we don't know where Los Matadores are. So, I mean, there are quite a few teams that are building within the WWE, and that's a good thing because we need them, especially considering some of the teams that should be coming up at some point from NXT. They're building a division, and division needs teams to lose. I mean, unless you're going to have local wrestlers come in and lose to everybody, which you can't do. So eventually I do think there is something for the Ascension, and we'll see what happens. It should be quite interesting. I'm glad the Usos are back. I got bored of them, I have to admit. Their run was very boring, very predictable. They are kind of one-dimensional wrestlers, but having them back is cool. They seem to have a little bit more charisma. Really, it's just shucking and jiving. They're dancing a lot. I mean, that's what they're doing. And that might be your thing. It might not be your thing. Me, I'm not a huge fan of it. I think it's kind of hokey, kind of. That's just me, though. I like the Usos. I do think that they're going to be big in the tag team division again, obviously, because they are very, very over. But I want to see more growth from them, and I think this match is a very good start to that. They had a good match with the Ascension. It was fun, and they're just as over as they've ever been. So, Booker T is the weirdest and worst announcer in the history of wrestling. I just have to say that. I got to throw that out there. I love Booker T as a person. I've met Booker T. I knew Booker T a little bit back in my Las Vegas days. I saw him a few times in my mom's work because she worked right underneath the Nitro Grill in Excalibur, the hotel casino in Las Vegas. She worked at Sherwood Forest, and a lot of the guys would come in there a lot. He was one of them, and just a cool guy. I like him personally, but he is just awful on the mic. And after weeks and weeks and weeks of him just being full-blown heel, now he's rooting for the Usos. It's just pick a lane with these guys. Look, I don't think that you have to have necessarily a heel commentator, one heel guy, one heel announcer, one face announcer, and one play-by-play. I don't think that needs to be the case. But you also can't go from one extreme to the other. And with Booker, they've done that. JBL has kind of blurred the lines a little bit more often, except when it comes to the Authority. But other than that, he kind of blurs the lines. While hell, JR said that JBL was a face announcer. So the different point of views, I guess. I don't know. But with Booker, he's been so bad guy for weeks, and now he's just the Usos. You gotta love them. I'm like, oh. Yeah, pick a lane, buddy. Pick a lane. All right, let's get back into it. It looks like we're going to get the Wyatts. And now after that promo on Monday with the Purple Lightning, I'm not looking forward to this. Let's see what they do here, man. Oh, God. Okay, 28-24. Okay, they're not talking. That's good. That's good. They're having another traditional Survivor Series match. This time it's the Four Monsters against the Primetime Players, who I forgot to mention earlier, and the Lucha Dragons. This should be a squash. Don't talk. Don't talk, please, Wyatts. Don't talk. Just kick ass. Just beat some ass. That's all you got to do. Let's see how this match goes. Let's do it right now. Boom. 34-50, first elimination. Darren Young eliminated via countout, I believe. Yes, countout. I'm watching it. I believe. Yes, he got counted out. He got blasted and then counted out. So that's the first person eliminated. Yeah, I'm going to give you elimination by elimination at which time. Have fun with that. By the way, speaking of the times, just so you guys don't get confused, which I probably should have said earlier, if you're following along at home, these times are without commercials. So they're pretty much pointless, really. But oh, well, let's get back to it. 38-56, and Sin Cara, after a really nice offensive flurry, gets discus clotheslined his face off by Luke Harper, and he's eliminated. Wyatt's now have a 4-2 advantage. Let's get back to it. 42 minutes in, and after a lot of chaos created by Kalisto, wait, no, not Luke Harper. The other one, the guy that everyone forgets about, Eric Rowan, hits a full Nelson slam for the victory there. So out goes Sin Cara. No, out goes Sin Cara, but Kalisto just got eliminated here. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, so much chaos, everything going around. And now it's just Titus versus the rest of the Wyatts. This has been a fairly entertaining match. A little bit more time to it than I thought they were going to give. But how long will Titus last? Let's find out. Well, Titus put up a valiant effort, but no, the numbers got to him eventually. Everybody got a little bit of offense in on Titus, and Bray gets the ultimate victory with Sister Abigail. They win at about the 47-16-minute mark. That brings the end to this segment, but it was good. Good match, domination by the Wyatts. I think trying to build them as a dominant force like this is a really good idea. We don't know what's going to happen with the Survivor Series match. Pretty sure it's still going to happen. I don't think Wyatt is going to be involved in the championship tournament. I just don't see him in there because this Undertaker match is so important. But I don't know who's going to be on the Undertaker's team. I don't see anybody that's on the roster like any of the younger guys getting involved. It's either going to be Kane and the Undertaker versus the entire Wyatt family, or it's going to be Kane, Undertaker. I still think there's a possibility of JBL. Don't ask me why. And I think Sting, the word is starting to go around a little bit that there might be a possibility about this, that Sting might be good enough to go. And if he is, that's going to add a lot of juice to this match. So that should be interesting. But I really don't know who's going to be involved. It should be a lot of fun to figure it out. And the match should deliver. I don't think there's any question about that. But I like building the Wyatts as an unstoppable force. They need to get some wins over some big opponents, though. They're dominating most of the roster, and then when they get to a pay-per-view, they lose the war, and you can't keep losing wars. Some small victory battles are nice, but eventually you gotta win a war. Let's get back to it. See what's next on SmackDown. Yeah, musical, bitch. 49 minutes in, and we got a rambling, incoherent promo by Dean Ambrose, but it was great. And then Kevin Owens comes in. It's like, what are you talking about? You're insane. I like that. I like Kevin Owens kind of dousing water on the whole thing. That's kind of funny. And then Dean's like, yeah, John Denver told me about this guy. So, look, I'm looking forward to this feud, just seeing them go face-to-face. This is another one of those things, like the Wyatt situation. I kind of hope that the #1 contender thing, this new tournament for the title at Survivor Series, doesn't affect these two that much. Would I like to see either one of them as champions? Absolutely, but I really want to see this feud. I want to see these two go, like, desperately. Them nose-to-nose got me all kinds of excited, so I want to see them go. So hopefully that will happen. Let's see what takes place in this match. It should be a really, really good fight. I'm looking forward to it. So let's get back to the action and see what's next on SmackDown. 54 minutes in. See this face? This is my confused face. Wade Barrett, bad news Barrett, gets a really quick and easy loss against Ryback. That was weird. They've been building the EU together. You know, the whole damn Sheamus and Bad News Barrett. Why not at least have Sheamus out there? I didn't understand this at all. And the match wasn't very good. It was very weird. It's kind of like a throw-in match. Ryback kind of won it out of nowhere with a nice feat of strength, but that was weird, wasn't it? That was like borderline, like, ugh. I'm really cooled off on Ryback. Those of you who've been watching a long time know I've been a Ryback supporter, but I couldn't be more bored with the guy at this point. I feel bad saying that because I like Ryback. I think he brings a lot to the table, but I don't know, man. I'm just not digging what he's doing, and I don't understand this inconsistent booking of him. Up and down, yes, but even the ups don't seem to make sense, and this up victory here with Barrett, I don't know. But see, that's the thing with Barrett, it doesn't seem to matter. Barrett's always going through weird losses and weird wins and weird new pairings. I don't know. It's bizarre, to say the least. So let's get back to it, and I think we're getting some Divas action next. So who knows? Let's find out how that's going to be. Yeah, 56:44 in, and a really weird promo interview with Team Bad. Somebody is about to take on Natalya, the leader of Bad that was challenged by Natalya. And after saying that the mind games won't work with them, they know exactly who their leader is, then they don't seem to know who their leader is. So that was just, it was weird. So who's going to take on Natalya? Let's find out right now. Let's do this. And after a little bit of confusion, more confusion as Tamina gets in the ring. Lord have mercy, save us all. Let's see what happens. She's big, but other than that, I don't know. Let's see what happens. Nia Jax light here. Let's see. Oh boy, here we go. 1 hour, 2 minutes in, and Natalya gets the victory via roll-up. That's like more of the same that we don't want to see that, right? But I got to give a little bit of credit here. It was a pretty decent match. There was a few little hiccups. Tamina's still a little herky-jerky, but that might have been one of Tamina's best performances that we've seen on television, which is a good thing. I can't bury her. I want to, but I can't, because I want to bury her based off past performances. But the reality is I can't. She did a good job in this match, so you got to be fair. It was a very decent match. From two people that you weren't really even expecting to have a match, let alone be good, I'm pretty pleased with it. And especially coming off of a weird, strange match that we just saw with Ryback and Barrett. This is a decent bounce back match. So, hey, not bad. I think we're main event time here, so let's get to it. And hopefully Kevin Owens and Dean are going to tear the friggin' house down. Let's find out. Ooh, an hour and 7 minutes in. Now, look, I don't know about the actual... This is the Australian version that I usually watch. So I don't know about the version that came out on American television. But this is what I can tell you. They're still advertising the Seth Rollins-Roman Reigns match here. So they did not put the edit in. I read in the other spoilers for the actual American version that they did reference it. But I don't know. You guys tell me. Did you guys see the reference to Seth's injury or not? Because in this one, they still referenced Roman and Seth. So it should be interesting to see how that goes. But again, remember, this came out a day before the American version. So really, the news hadn't even broke yet when this was shown in friggin' Aussie. So in the land of Oz. We'll see what happens with that. So... Whew, this whole Seth thing is a bummer, but it's exciting, isn't it? I'm very excited. All right, main event time. Let's do it. Dean Ambrose, Kevin Owens. Boom. So there it is, end of the match. And you know what? It was a good match. Decent match. Only 10 minutes, less than that, actually. But it's one of those first builders, and that is even more evident by the ending of the match. The phantom dick kick that didn't happen that Kevin Owens faked to get out of the match. That was pretty cool. And then Charles, God, I'm all fucked up. Charles Robinson, my brother in blonde. Charles, we go to the same guy. Hipster barbershop. Got to go. He caught the mistake and started yelling at Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens was already laughing his way out of the arena. And then Dean attacks him again. This is building. I want to see this feud. I want to see it. Should be great. So SmackDown's over. Pretty decent, I thought, overall. Definitely not a down show. I thought it was going to be, but it was actually fairly good. I give it a good 6.5, 6.75, maybe talked into a 7. Not a great SmackDown, but a very serviceable SmackDown that, because of the confusion that's happening with all the situation with Seth Rollins, I give it a little bit more of a pass because they didn't really have time to fix anything to go forward. So now, from what happens now on, is changing. The landscape has now changed. So this is the SmackDown of the last iteration, the last era. Now things are changing, and we're going to see how it goes from here. So what do you guys think of SmackDown, man? Let me know in the comment section below. And make sure that you guys join me this weekend sometime, whenever I do it. I'm not sure. Dead on Dave Live, trying to figure out the best time, maybe late night on Saturday, I think might be a good time to do it. So expect a link to be posted for that, and we're going to talk about Seth Rollins and so much else. Make sure you guys are there for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, make sure you guys get ready for something amazing. December 17th, my friend, my buddy, Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah, his new album, Black Mozart, drops December 17th of this year, man. And let me tell you, I've heard it, and it is amazing. Not just good, not just great, amazing. It's hip-hop, but anybody can listen to it. This is not exclusive hip-hop. This is all inclusionary. Everybody can associate and can feel what he says, and that's why it's special. That's why it's different, and that's why I like it. So make sure you check out my man, Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah, his new album, Black Mozart, December 17th, 2015. It will be available on all downloadable distribution, digital distribution, and we'll have all kinds of information. We're going to do a drop party. That's right. We're going to have a special Creators Corner on December 17th with Real Talk. He'll be here. We're going to talk about the new album and plenty of other things. Take your calls, and maybe we'll even sample a few songs. You know, maybe that will happen. Who knows? So thank you guys very much. Make sure you support him. www.realtalkthetruth.com. Make sure you check him out, all right? But as for me, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys very much, man. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. And we'll see you a little bit later on. Oh, yeah. Burping in the microphones. All right. As always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. We'll see you next time. Peace in the Middle East. Keep it copious, bitches.